Hello, this is my data communication final presentation. I'll be doing mine on network security. Let's get started. So, first off, what is network security? It's the use of tools, policies, and processes to protect the network's confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Some basic objectives include detecting breaches, preventing unauthorized access, and responding to cyber attacks. Now, something to note that network security involves hardware, software, and user behavior practices also. It isn't just all about firewalls and antivirus softwares and these automated tools. It's a comprehensive approach that includes all these things working together, not just relying on one. So, why is it important? An organization, as they become more reliant on data communication networks for day to day operations, it's pretty important that these network connections are secure in order to protect the three things I mentioned: the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of an organization and its resources. On top of this, across many different industries, government regulations are put in place to ensure that these communication networks are secure to protect customer data. Let's go. Type of network threats. So you have malware, which are your viruses, worms, and ransomware. These are maliciously designed to exploit or harm a system. You got your DDoS attacks, which are which will overrun the system's traffic to force downtime. You have phishing, which is the practice of sending fake emails with the intent of revealing sensitive information. And then you have man in the middle attacks, which is where threat actors are camped out on the network and intercept data as it travels. These threats, these aren't the only threats. They can come in like other forms as well. But you'll have some more technical attacks, like the DDoS attacks, and then you'll have human-based attacks, such as the phishing attacks. So it's very important that you have a response to all these things, and that your employees are trained as well as your automated systems are ready to go as well. Next, we have network controls. So these are essential for keeping a network secure. They can really help out a team with like automated tools or whatnot. We'll get into those. But they can be rules, software, or hardware, and even procedures that can fortify a network against threats. So you have three types of controls. One being preventative controls that are put into place to reduce and eliminate the potential risk for an attack. So, the keyword preventative. Firewalls and access controls. Um, these can be forms of preventative controls as well as systems, an automated system like an intrusion preventative system, and that will essentially just monitor the traffic on the system, on the network, and it will automatically report if there are any potential threats and block, which is really cool. So next, we have detective controls, and they're used to discover unwanted network events. They're used for uncovering stuff as it's happening. Um, Primarily, you have intrusion detective systems, which are automated, and they'll log suspicious activity and provide immediate alerts. And that's very useful for like a SOC team or a cyber team. so they can immediately start combating whatever's going on, because time is very sensitive in these matters. And then lastly, you have corrective controls. And these are measures put in place after an event happens or an intrusion, and the restoration process going back to normal operations. So there are some technical elements like antivirus software that you can put, but also this is where you see a lot of human input, incident response plans, recovery plans, and just human action happening. So with this, a strong defense, like I said, doesn't just rely on one tool. Um, these components, they all work together, and they provide defense in depth, which is a layered approach to securing the network, which is what you want ideally. Next, you have remote network security, excuse me. Um, that's a big topic now, since there's been an increasing trends of the inclusion of remote work in businesses. Um, though it really helps productivity for a company, it becomes a challenge to secure because the attack surface just grows larger. Um, luckily, there's methods to help secure um, during these times of remote network. You got VPNs, which are very, very helpful for connecting to networks securely from anywhere. A lot of organizations, this is their main way of remote work. You also have multi-factor authentication, which is very important for remote work. Since you're not having the person in front of you, you want to make sure that everybody accessing resources are who they say they are. And MFA is just another way to ensure that, you know, the right people are getting through. And lastly, you have the zero trust network access architecture or plan. This is just essentially saying that it treats every device with like as it could be a potential threat. So you need authentication for almost everything you do, and that's the safest thing. That way, nothing really slips through the cracks. And then lastly, I have a real world scenario. Um, 2013, Target had one of the largest security breaches in history. Over 40 million credit and debit records were stolen. And what was interesting is the cyber criminals in this case, they were able to phish an employee at Target's third party HVAC vendor, and with those credentials of the HVAC, they were able to go into Target systems and move laterally to the point of service systems, and install malware. So definitely what went wrong is the lack of employee training. Um, if the employee that was getting fish had more knowledge on what was happening, there's a good chance that he would never would have gave up his information, therefore preventing this whole thing. And then next, the lack of network segmentation really made it easy for these threat actors to move around targets environment once they got into the system through the network. So if they had a better if they had their network actually segmented properly, that it would definitely limited the damage area of the threat actors. So that's been my presentation. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you.